Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thrashing Couch on Thrasher's Paradise. This time, I have the couch and not my guest. Or are you on a couch?
I'm in a chair.
And there's still a
it's
couch.
it's a nice chair though. It's a
Ooh,
leather office chair.
nice.
Yes.
Well, besides that, welcome to Thrasher's Paradise. We are here with
Thanks for having me.
Jamie, all the way from Calgary. He is part of the band Third Chamber, who are releasing their EP, Harvester of Decay.
Harvesting hour decay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harvesting Our Decay.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all right. It's been called harvesting the decay. It's been called harvesting all sorts of decay. The harvesting and the decay part is the main part.
Yes, exactly. Well, Harvesting Our Decay comes out November 22nd, and we are very happy to have this exclusive interview. Now, Jamie, this the first release of your band?
Yeah. Yeah. This is our first release. It's a 5-song EP.
Now, I've been fortunate enough to have listened to a couple of these tracks already. It sounds amazing so far. I love it.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
No problem. What was the main thought process when creating this EP?
Like how the songs came together, or just overall?
Overall.
Well, we had most of these written a couple years ago. Jay and I, the other guitar player, kind of put together a few tracks that were supposed to be for another project, and that project got laid to rest, and so we kept these going, and we didn't really have a concept yet, but we had 2 new members at that point, and then we wrote 2 other songs to go with them, and yeah, that all came together pretty quickly. We all jived really well. Russ was our bass player, and Dustin on drums. So yeah, we put them all together, and Shane came along and made them songs once he put those lyrics on there. And his concept of the album is really deep, in my opinion, and something people need to hear. Yeah, that hopefully that answered the question.
Yes, it did. What made you decide to release the album now?
Probably mainly the fact that we finally got it done, and it seems like a good time of year, I guess.
Excellent. Now, what do you hope you get out of releasing this EP?
I guess just see what people think, so that we can kind of go from there on what to write next. It's a really mixed genre type of music. We don't really have a niche genre that we try to sound like. We're just kind of trying to incorporate all the styles that we all like, and we think it sounds good. As we make songs, we listen to other bands that inspire us, and styles can kind of change a little bit along the way, but hopefully it's well received. Some of the songs, when you play them for a long time, they get kind of stale.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time this has been released, we've listened to these songs like how many times now, right? So it's hard to, we want to hear some fresh ears and some opinions from people that are hearing it for the first time. And pretty stoked that you said you enjoyed it, because you probably have a pretty wide taste for metal. So
Oh yeah, and I just appreciate the fact that you sounded different from anything else I've heard via local or major named bands. Is just you set yourself apart with your sound, and I really appreciate that. And that's gonna help you get your name out there better because you sound different.
Yeah, and we're not trying to be please everybody. It's just kind of the way they came together, and I mean, I'm sure the next one's going to sound a lot different, because, like I said, a couple of them are written a little bit ago, like a couple years ago, which is quite a bit. So, yeah, no, excited to hear the feedback, good and bad, and then we can go from there for the next step.
Excellent. Now, usually when a band announces an EP coming out or an album coming out, they usually have a couple of little shows to do that. Is there anything
Right.
coming up for you guys that you'd like to promote
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah, for sure. In Alberta, we're doing 4 shows. November 23rd is Saturday in Red Deer we're gonna do, which is I'm not sure how many listeners are gonna be close to there, but that would be awesome to see some people in small town Red Deer. And then the 29th of November, we're playing Medicine Hat, which is another small town just east of Calgary. And then Edmonton on November 30th. Edmonton, Alberta, and then Calgary on December 6th. So 3 weekends in a row of playing these songs. Then we got a couple new ones that we're going to play as well. So everybody will kind of get to see, where we're going next with the music. And yeah, we'll get, we got the EP on CD and cassette. We got 3 different color cassettes.
Ooh.
For all you hipsters out there. And, I love cassettes, man. I don't know why. I love holding them. I don't even put them in half the time. They're just, I don't know. It's nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
From when I was a kid. So, but yeah, and then we have 3 different types of shirts. Yeah, 2 that are gonna hold the album art on them, and 1 that was from previous. So.
Excellent. Now I've checked out the Bandcamp page, and I haven't gone in depth with it yet. But is there a merch page connected? Yep. Oh, there is.
All the merch is there. Yep, you can view it and you can purchase it. I think the shirts are still not available for purchase just yet because they should be coming to us soon. They're being printed. But we do have the original first shirt that's on there. And yeah, you guys can order that online, and we got the EP pre-order on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, and Bandcamp. And then our single, we've got the lyric video. I don't know if you caught that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so that's out there on YouTube. Yeah, we got things rolling.
Excellent. Well,
So, yeah.
By the sounds of it, you seem to be conquering so far the Alberta surrounding area outside of Calgary.
Yeah.
And right. I'm assuming within a couple of years you are going to expand the horizon across the country.
Right. Yeah. So we've applied for most of the festivals in Western Canada next year. I think this will be it for winter driving for us up here in Calgary. It's pretty treacherous, like starting now until March, right? So
yeah.
We try to stay off the highway, unless it's even maybe a couple hours away. But I mean, people will have all seen it by then.
Yeah.
Around here, and then so BC and Saskatchewan are kind of on the radar, right, for that. So yeah, hopefully play some festivals and catch some new attention, and maybe come out your way.
Yeah, we'd love to see in Ontario. Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's the kind of just get it spread around here, and then get a week or 2 off, and definitely come out to the other side of Canada.
Maybe do a little East Coast tour.
Yeah, we got to hit Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and then I don't know. I think anything past that, you'd almost want to fly and bring your gear. You know what I mean, and rent a van out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've heard. Well, we've a couple previous bands. We've gone as far as Montreal, and it's pretty daunting to say the least when you're in BC, right? So that's where we were based out of. So yeah, that was quite the trek, but definitely hope to see you in person and have a beer with you.
That sounds good to me. I will bring the beers.
Yes, right on.
All you need to do is play the good tunes, and we got a deal.
Else. We'll bring it up. We'll bring everything else. Yeah, you betcha.
That sounds like a great deal to me. Now, because of a name like Third Chamber and an album and an EP name like Harvester Why am I messing it up? Harvesting or decay.
Yeah, HOD.
HOD. Oh,
There you go.
I'm going to remember that now.
You can use the acronym.
HOD.
Yeah.
With coming up with HOD, was it hard to kind of get a concept for what the album cover should look like?
It came pretty easy to Shane. He did all the artwork actually. Our vocalist. Wow. Yeah. He's like a web design engineer. He's a freaking wizard when it comes to artistry and putting things together with computers and just everything. So he put the art together after he did the lyrics, and I think it all coincides perfectly. And all the concepts that he came up with, we all see eye to eye on, which doesn't cause any sort of rift in the band, which I know it probably can. But it's not preachy, and it's not cheesy or anything. It's just direct, and the artwork coincides with that nicely. Like I said, the band name actually doesn't have a ton to do with any of the coinciding artwork or themes for this album. So it just kind of that all came after, right? So but there's a few rabbit holes with the band name that actually kind of made us keep it, because it started off as kind of a jokey name.
Okay.
And like the grinder,
yes,
weed grinder, there's the bottom chamber, the third chamber. That's where we got the name.
Oh, okay.
Because we'd always be hurting. We're like, oh, we gotta pop one before jam. So we'd break it. Am I allowed to talk about this on here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes,
it's legal. It's legal in Canada.
Yes.
So yeah, we'd sprinkle the third chamber contents into like a dirty roach joint or something. We'd have the best jams. We're like, that third chamber, boy, she gets you. But yeah, so, and then we Googled it to see if it was a band name, and all of a sudden, all this stuff starts coming up about the Amphipolis tomb, if I'm saying that right, and some sort of tomb where they found 5 bodies, and it was actually like around the time that we started making these riffs. Some tomb over in Egypt. It had to be Egypt area or something. Anyway, we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. We got to keep that name. So we went with it.
I mean, it's working so far. You got an EP coming out now. People in Ontario are going to know who you are. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate what you're doing.
When I got the email from John about you guys, I just was like, okay, let me hear it. Let's see what we got. And I almost immediately, I wasn't even halfway done the last song, and I emailed him back like, yeah, can I get an interview with them, please?
Nice,
like,
That's like, sweet.
I don't know why, but you guys just were so great, and it just sounded so original and so different, and it was a breath of fresh air, essentially. And that's kind of hard now in metal to kind of stand out and be different with all of this widespread of bands just sounding alike and trying to be like,
they lock into a genre, and
yes,
and we're not trying to be, like I said, gimmicky or preachy or cheesy or anything, but I don't know, sometimes I'm like, oh, is that riff, is this riff angry enough? Does this describe what we're feeling enough here? And sometimes we ditch stuff, and it's hard when you really care about the songs you want and the band and the name and the brand you're creating. You want it to be perfect, so you end up being your own worst critic. And we probably get rid of stuff that we should have kept, and we probably keep stuff that we should have got rid of. But yeah, it's I'm pretty stoked that you like it, because it's fresh ears. You're a set of fresh ears. You're one of the first to hear it. So
excellent. Now, with that, you mentioned earlier in this interview that you do have some new songs already brought together. How important is it for you to be writing new music on a continuous time thing, I guess I'm trying to say.
That's super important. Like we jam, we only jam once a week, unless we have a show coming up. We try to do a couple, but that consistency since 2017, I guess, when we started really consistently jamming with the full musical part of the band before Shane came around. Um, we we've just gotten so much tighter, and you guys will see that when we play live, that like Dustin plays to a click track behind the kit, and we just, I don't know, we're robotic. And it's practice, right? But for new music, Jay writes like crazy. The other guitarist, he's always got a guitar in his hand. Like you go to his house for a beer, and he's just standing there making you feel nervous with the guitar the whole time, just playing like the most eerie riffs. Like I'm sitting here with the guitar right now because I I try to play. I have a young girl. She's 18 months. So when she goes to bed, I go out to the garage and get some inspiration, and then I come down here and play riffs. So it's super important to do that at least a couple times a week. Everybody's super busy. All this death metal band guys, most metal band guys, we all got jobs, right, and families, and this isn't paying the bills, but it's definitely a pretty awesome hobby, and it's the only thing that keeps me sane. So, yeah, practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
For you personally, out of everything in the band aspect, from the merchandise to getting shows to even writing the music, what for you is the hardest part of that job?
The hardest part of all of it, like being
Yes.
probably getting your family to understand when you want to tour. That personally for me, it's not everybody's problem in the band. Shane's got a little guy. He's the father of his son is 6, and a couple of us have girlfriends and wives and stuff. So I'd say for me personally, just trying to be a good dad and a husband. I don't like to be on the road for a long time. I did it with some other bands, and it's probably the hardest part. But I think also everybody in the band having to come up with money to do stuff like this. You know what I mean? It's not, like I said, it's a hobby. It's an expensive hobby, basically. Um, unless if you're going to tour 8 months a year, you might make some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that's the most difficult part, and just keeping fresh ideas in your head, writing riffs and not getting in a rut, as far as your playing can go, and as far as your creativity, right? Um, there's all kinds of problems. If I could probably keep going and going, but it's fun, right? And like I said, it keeps me sane. And I know the camaraderie of being in a band that's making cool tunes is something everybody should experience, I think.
And I concur with that.
Yeah.
Within 5 years, where do you hope to see Third Chamber?
5 years, I would say I would hope that we would have a few albums out, and I would have liked to play with some decent bands that I've always idolized. It would be awesome to open for like some big acts that come through Calgary. Probably, like some festivals. I mean, 5 years is not that long of a time, so all that stuff hopefully will happen soon, right?
Hopefully. I hope for you guys.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
You're
I
welcome.
think we'll be able to get on with some big acts that come through, and hopefully maybe tag along for a few shows around the area.
Excellent. Now, this is the final question I'm going to ask you. It's
Okay.
a tradition on here that we always do. The last
Okay.
question, we call it the poser question, is to ensure that we're not talking to a poser.
Uh-oh. Keep in mind, I'm an old dad, all right?
I understand that, but
Okay.
it's tradition for
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
that comes on.
Okay, fire away.
Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy or God?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry, but I don't believe in God, so I guess I'd have to say Lemmy. Is that did I pass?
You
Yeah.
pass, but the actual answer is Lemmy is God, so it's a trick
Lemmy.
question.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Hey, you picked Lemmy still, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie,
Yeah.
thank you so much for appearing on Thrasher's Paradise today. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for calling, man.
Hey, no problem, ladies and gentlemen at home. Make sure to follow them on social media. Make sure to pre-order the album on Bandcamp, Apple Music, Spot, wherever you can pre-order it and get it on all social media platforms. November 22nd. Circle that date and remember it because it's the date that will change your life.
Hell yeah.
And until next time, keep on thrashing. And then